What's going on, guys? It's your boy. Today I actually have someone new today. I have Satori, if you want to say hello.
Hello, I'm Satori.
He's here. We've got someone new for once for a change, so that's always good. And me and Satori were sort of talking in Discord of what would be a good video idea, and we just thought about, like, you know, underrated characters, because we've done a lot of controversial videos. We've done videos on, like, the Sanin and whatnot, so we thought, hey, underrated characters is a cool video idea. And we've got some honourable mentions to start off with. We've got sort of Taka. Taka's not really one character, but, you know, that's why it's in the honourable mentions. Taka's crazy.
So first things first, during the B fight, like, some of them actually are able to put some hands on B. Jugo just punches B in the face and actually sends him flying. Suigetsu is able to intercept some of his attacks on Sasuke. Then during the 5 Kage summit, like, both Jugo and Suigetsu are able to, like, blitz over to Sasuke from across the room at the same speed that A and Daru like go there. So they're like really crazy in terms of speed, like actually Raikage level. And then like the craziest thing is obviously Guru Zetsu. You want to go into that?
Oh, if you want to give Taka Orochimaru, they might be blatantly just some of the strongest people in the world. Like if you include Orochimaru with the Edo Hokage summons, like they honestly might be the strongest people on this whole list. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, like they're soloing the Akatsuki for sure at that point, and probably like taking over the 5 great nations.
Yeah, I mean, Taka is, we did a video with, me and Prodigy did a video on Taka versus the Akatsuki, and we sort of said like, yeah, if you give Taka Orochimaru, they probably slap the Akatsuki real, like, no cap.
Yeah, like even without Edo Tensei, Orochimaru in the war is insane.
Yeah.
Karin is able to like dismantle the Guru statue with her chains. Like the Guru statue was like soloing the 5 Kage and Hiruzen combined.
And Suigetsu just goes,
it's crazy.
Kills him.
Yeah, like shoots him in the head, literally.
Yeah. We're going from really high to really low, so just bear with me for a second. The next one we have Choji. Now, Choji, even in part 1, he gets his time to shine, low-key. He gets one of the best fights in part 1. He fights Jirobo, and everyone in the team would actually have a hard time besides Neji against Jirobo. And, I mean, Choji just one-tapped, you know, Jirobo in his Curse Mark 2, and, you know, also fought Kinkaku and Ginkaku, you know?
The Tobirama killers.
You know, maybe Choji is Tobirama. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, he also brawls with the Geto statue a bit, and the Geto statue is like taking hits and beatings from KCM Naruto and full Jinchuriki B, like full transformation, and he's actually able to like tango with it a bit.
Yeah, Choji gets a fat power amp he gets like a Kisame treatment.
Choji goes from like getting boxed up by base Kakuzu with no jutsu or anything, he just loses to him, and then brawls with the Geto statue and is slapping around Ginkaku and Ginkaku.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because he is the weakest Genin in the series. Maybe Ino, I don't know, maybe Choji versus Ino might be a debate, but he's sort of shown as the weakest Genin for a large majority of the series.
At first.
Yeah, I don't see anyone doing, you know, that to the Geto statue. Like, not many characters, I'm going to be honest. Next up, we have Conan. I really don't want to. I think I'm going to start going on the hype train of Conan, because I'm actually starting to think she's actually not weak at all. I actually do think she might be the middle of the Katsuki, I'm not going to lie. In the video game cutscene, she kind of fights Sasori, and I know everyone's going to yell at me for that, but, you know, maybe it's consistent if you think that she can fight Obito, you know what I mean? Maybe she had prep time for Sasori and she knew everything about it. We don't know.
Yeah, like even if Pain had prep time, I don't think he could force Obito to like use Izanagi and like blow up his arm and half his face. But with the whole Sasori fight, there are like arguments that Sasori could have been weaker at that point, because we actually don't see any joints on his body, so it could be that he's not even a puppet at that point.
True.
He could have gotten stronger.
You know, she does get a bad rap because she does lose to base Jiraiya. For all we know, base Jiraiya just knew how to take her down, knew all of like her weaknesses.
Yeah. There's also another argument, I don't remember who exactly came up with it, but basically it goes like this. Pain has a conversation with Conan, and he's like, are you sure that you can do this? Are you sure that you can kill him? He's like, basically almost implying that she still has attachments to Jiraiya, and she might be actually like mentally suppressed, not wanting to kill Jiraiya.
So overall, Conan, she's definitely up there. Yeah. I don't think she's actually bottom of the Akatsuki anymore. So there you go. Last honorable mention, we have Haku. Now, he honestly is strong enough. He can blitz Kakashi even in the war arc when he has a weakened Edo body. Who else does that in the series? Who blitzes Kakashi? Pain? Madara, you know? Sasuke?
Yeah, it's super weird.
It's very weird.
Like, that mental amp she gets from... Oh, sorry. That mental amp he gets from wanting to protect Zabuza is insane.
Yeah, it might be the
it's
best
actually
amp.
crazy.
And like,
honestly, yeah, she might get... I said she again. He might get like a Sage Mode level amp just from that.
Say, oh my god, Haku's the first villain, he's trash, but he blitzes Kakashi again.
And Kakashi and the war is crazy. He's like keeping up with the version 2 Jinchuriki who are giving KCM Naruto a hard time. So,
as you can tell, Naruto is a series that is very closed-ended, everything's very clear, and there's no inconsistencies. You know, it's good.
Yep, no retcons, no nothing.
Yeah, Hiruzen strongest Kage, Kisame below Jiraiya, all that good stuff. Alright, let's get into the actual topic, so just bear with us, guys. Number 10 is a weird one, but just hear us out. It's actually the Leaf Jonin. Now, they just have Akatsuki suppression units. Like, what? Who's doing that? Who's fighting the Akatsuki? Apparently a few Jonin can fight the Akatsuki. I don't understand where these people were earlier on in the series when Orochimaru rocked up.
I'll tell you who's fighting the Akatsuki. Aoba, who's able to just swap hands with Kakuzu. And also Kiba's mom. Like this rando that we basically never see. Like Kiba's mother just goes up to the Preta Path of Pain and forces him to run away.
Yep. I rewatched that before. It's just crazy, and you know, I'm not going to cap. I don't know a lot of their names. It's been a while since I've read that chunk of Part 2 and Part 1. I don't know their names. Apparently, they can just fight Kakuzu and Hidan, and if you actually re-watch and reread the fight, they actually do catch Kakuzu off guard 2 or 3 times, and alongside Asuma can actually deal with Hidan and Kakuzu at the same time, who are 2 Akatsuki members who individually should be around 1,000 shinobi each that can take down Jinchuriki. Insane. These are three Leaf Jonin.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's maybe the other Jonin from the other villages are just trash. Probably moving on. At number 9, we have Tsunade. So Tsunade is someone who gets a lot of bad rep, and people like often say that she's the weakest of the Sanin. Which, at least up until the war, might be true.
Yeah.
But in the war, she just starts going crazy. She's like blowing Madara to shreds. Now, yeah. Madara was kind of holding back, but still, like she's able to actually like just take Susanoo swords to the face and to the stomach and just get up right after that.
I do get it, because it's like in Part 1 she's introduced, and the Sanin are introduced all nerfed. You know, Orochimaru has no arms, Jiraiya has little Rufy. And Orochimaru makes fun of Tsunade for not being able to take down Kabuto, who, in Orochimaru's own words, is Kakashi level. And even Orochimaru's like, you could never defeat me, Tsunade. You're only as strong as Kakashi. And it's like, Part 1 Kakashi is nothing compared to what he becomes in even mid-Shippuden. And then, apparently, Tsunade's a rival for the Raikage, who could apparently slap up any form of Sasuke before he gets his MS, which might mean the Sanin get a fat power amp, like, you know, characters like Kisame, because I see the debate all the time, like the Raikage versus Sage Naruto. Sage Naruto just surpasses Sage
versus
Jiraiya.
Pain.
So yeah, Tsunade, even her character overall is very underrated. She's actually one of the best Hokage, I feel.
She's also very effective in protecting the village. Like she's saving many people's lives.
True.
And her arsenal just wasn't really fit to fight Pain, because, you know, 6 bodies who can, like, heal each other and stuff, you know.
The worst matchup.
Kind of a hard counter. Tsunade, even in general, is probably, like, the best female character in Naruto, to be honest, in terms of writing.
Yeah.
Like, no, maybe I can't say that objectively, but, you know, still. She's got some of the best narratives and arcs in Naruto.
Well, how about you guys in the comments? Let us know who, you know, is Tsunade this high? Is she the best female ninja in the series? Is she cooler than Sarada? You know, I think so. Moving on, speaking of like Sanin and those sort of characters, we've got Sage Kabuto. The guy just fights EMS Sasuke and Itachi. This is so crazy. Like this, they are. Would you agree that these are like KCM Naruto level threats? I don't know your exact scaling.
They're above KCM Naruto, like both of them.
Oh, I'm so happy. You said
EMS Sasuke is like weird because he gets a lot stronger after this because he's mentally conflicted in this fight. Like he actually has to go talk to the Hokage right after this to get his resolve. Yeah. But even now, he's still should be above his Mangekyo Sharingan self. And his Susanoo arrow was just blitzing everybody. It was blitzing Danzo, blitzing Kakashi, who's really impressive before the war. Kabuto just dodges it, like, easily, without any trouble whatsoever. And even Sasuke is shocked that he could do that. And Kabuto just blitzes Itachi a couple times too, like he chops him in half.
And Sage Kabuto looks at Sasuke and is like, I just need to deal with Itachi, and then I can kill Sasuke. He doesn't even think Sasuke is a threat. He's looking at Itachi. Itachi's protecting Sasuke all the time. Just being able to speed blitz Itachi's an insane feat, because Itachi is one of the strongest Akatsuki members. And like you said, Sasuke's speed and reaction time it's at least above the Raikage, because a much weaker Sasuke did this already.
Even with a base Sharingan, Sasuke in the 5 Kage Summit is able to like react to version 1 or version 2A. You know, he was able to react to him, and then he gets like 3 power-ups on top of that with just his MS because he's growing in hatred, he's growing stronger. And then EMS is above that, and Kabuto is just, nah.
And the jutsu variety this Kabuto has. I'm gonna be real, the jutsu variety is like pain level Renegon jutsu variety. Regeneration... You know, Genjutsu, inorganic reincarnation, whatever it is, you know, Kimimaru's bones, like Orochimaru, like the dude is just packing heat in terms of jutsu variety and jutsu arsenal.
Yeah, honestly, 1v1, alive Itachi versus Sage Kabuto bloodlusted, like no sicknesses, no anything. I think Kabuto low-key wins.
You know, even with that bad haircut, that terrible haircut and those stupid glasses, you know, the dude actually is extremely powerful.
I do think that White Mask Obito slaps him up, because he's also, like, extremely powerful. Like, he's implied to be, like, Madara level. But even then, like, Kabuto could still put up a fight, I think.
Yeah, speaking of which, Satori has a video on that you guys should definitely check out.
What if Kabuto captured Naruto and be in the war? To add on to your earlier point, or to contradict your earlier point, or to counter that, I think Kabuto actually looks really cool. The haircut, the glasses. If he didn't have the glasses, I don't think he would look as cool.
Comments, is Kabuto, you know, does he look cool? Does he look like a goofball? Does he need glasses when he's blind?
Okay, I can't defend that. I don't know why he needed glasses, but...
Yeah.
You know, I think the only thing that really doesn't look cool is the belly button snake. I don't think that looks cool. Yeah. So at number 7, I think we're on now, we have Kisame. So Kisame is actually, like, he's sort of overrated and underrated at the same time. But I think he's more so underrated because, at least from my perspective and from my view, I think he could hang with the big 3 of the Akatsuki pretty well, like Obito, Pain, and Itachi. Like, the weird thing about him is that he kind of almost gets, like, Zenkai boosts in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Like, he goes from getting kicked by base Guy and getting blown back in part 1 to forcing Guy into the 6th gate after a 2.5-year time skip when Guy was doing nothing but training.
And Guy was with Neji and Lee, who at this point, I'm not going to call them 10-10. Neji and Lee in this point should be packing heat. I'm going to be. They're like Jonin level at least. We've seen what Jonin can do to Akatsuki members, and Kisame with a 30% clone just puts in the work, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, 30% Kisame boxing up Kakuzu.
Okay, so this is where people will start disliking the video, but I think Killer B could actually neg a lot of the Akatsuki, and that's just because of how well like he does against Sasuke, and how well Sasuke does against Deidara, and how well I think Sasuke would do against Sasori and all those goons. B just gets fondled by Kisame. Really bad. Like really, really bad.
Yeah.
And B comes at him full force, blows a hole in his chest. Kisame laughs and then puts him down in about 3 to 4 minutes. This is Killer B. This is like relative to the 4th Raikage Killer B. You know what I'm saying?
So like there's one instance in the Raikage fight where the Raikage is about to punch Naruto. Naruto wants to do a Shadow Clone Jutsu, and before he can even do that, B intercepts Raikage punching. And then Kisame just comes in with in base, just no chakra power-ups or anything. He's able to like box up version 1B, but the water form is just crazy. Like when he uses with Samehada, low-key, with the Samehada fusion, I think he might be the strongest member of the regular Akatsuki. Like, he can just drown people.
Yeah, Kisame, and like I've seen, and I don't know what Sadari thinks of this, but I've seen the debate. It's like Itachi versus Kisame.
It's a debate, I'll say that. Like, Kisame doesn't just slap up Itachi, I'm just gonna say that. But, you know, there is a chance that he could definitely beat him.
Yeah, I definitely think he's number 4 of the Akatsuki.
But, like, it depends a bit, because in the war, like, the war has such crazy power cliffing and power scaling that it's crazy. Like, Kisame, when fatigued, like, starving, thirsting to death, probably, like, barely conscious, probably, in Samehada, he's, like, so weak at that point, his muscle mass is all gone. He just absorbs a little bit of chakra from base B, and then just goes toe-to-toe with, like, 7th gate guy for a while. Guy, almost in the 7th gate, is, like, able to almost blitz Jubidara at one point. Like, Jubidara actually has, like, exclamation marks and all that.
Yeah.
And the Hirodora is able to blow back Jubidara.
I mean, maybe Guy got stronger, but, you know.
Yeah, that's an easy counter-argument, because people do get stronger during the war. Like, Kakashi goes from, like, KCM level to keeping up with KCM Minato.
I think the reason people sleep on Kisame is because he kind of loses every fight and he's kind of not shown to win. Kisame there's a lot of instances where Kisame should have won. Moving on.
So yeah, that's probably it for Kisame.
Yeah, moving on, we should talk about Danzo. So I hate this argument. People say Danzo's, you know, trash and then like to downplay Shisui because of it. Danzo just does the best against Sasuke when he gets his MS. You know, with his Izanagi arm and his summonings and his, you know, wind style, he actually does put the moves on Sasuke, who should be able to obliterate, you know, the earliest members of the Akatsuki. You know, where was Danzo in the fight with Orochimaru, you know what I mean?
Like, Danzo is pretty crazy. It's a very matchup-dependent thing, because if he's up against someone like Sasuke or Itachi, he might low-key just bully them because of his, like, good matchup against them. He has a lot of stamina with the Izanagi, and they just might run out. But if he's, say, up against someone like A or Kisame, who have a lot of stamina and have a lot of durability, so they're hard to catch off guard, then he would have a hard time, I think. But just in terms of power, he has a lot of trickery. He has some wind style that, when combined with this animal summoning, is able to, like, rip open Sasuke Susanoo at one point.
Yeah. And, like, come on. Like, you guys are going to tell me that Danzo almost killed Sasuke. Sasuke just death stared the Raikage. And the Raikage was like, quick, jump off my arm now, you know? And then they stopped fighting. Like, I don't even think the Raikage wanted to fight Sasuke again after that.
Yeah, like, Sasuke pulled out a Susanoo, and the Raikage was just standing there.
And even in just terms of character quality, people hate Danzo because he's the Uchiha hater, blah, 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 all that stuff. He's Tobirama 2.0. No, like, Danzo is actually perfectly written for the series. He's the whole reason the Leaf Village is flawed. He's a really good crutch for Sasuke's hatred. He's the whole reason Itachi is the way he is. He is trying to do good, you know, in the series, but he's just got such a twisted, warped perception of what that good is. He has like a toxic version of the Will of Fire that Hiruzen has. And, you know, I kind of almost feel bad for Danzo in a way, because he never got to become Hokage. He never got to live up to Hiruzen's name. He sacrifices himself trying to kill Obito, which would have actually been fucking awesome for the series' outcome. He might have just stopped the war then and there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's actually kind of a tragic character. Didn't get Hokage when he was younger. I don't know. I actually do get Danzo a little bit.
One more thing people have to realize is that Danzo is basically meant to be hated. Like, he is a character that you are kind of meant to hate. Like, you know, if you've seen Hunter x Hunter, poof, there's the character who's really well written, meant to be hated. Same with Danzo. Like, and just in terms of power too, he has wood style, he has Kodo Matsukami, which low-key might solo everybody. Like, okay, not everybody, but like many people if they're not prepared for it.
Early Shippuden for sure.
Moving on, another one of my picks would be Black Zetsu. So people are gonna get mad for this. So Black Zetsu is someone who, up until he backstabbed Madara, was really cool. He was a spy in the Akatsuki, he had a lot of cool moments, but in terms of power, he's actually able to like battle Mizukage Mei KCM Naruto and a bunch of those random Jonin who are Kakuzu level at least, Zetsu might be like one of the strongest Akatsuki members low-key. Like,
Yeah.
the war arc is so weird because he has wood style, he's able to like trip up KCM Naruto, dodges Rasen Shurikens, and he gets like blitzed by Chojuro of all people. So like Chojuro above KCM Naruto maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, people have always said he's either completely broken or he's absolute trash, and there's no in between. He's one of those two things, you know?
Like, it depends on his host body, I guess, because when he's in Obito, he can, like, stab Madara. And I'm not talking about that time when he backstabs him. Like, he does also stab Madara one time before that, when he's just standing right in front of him.
I remember.
If there are, like, debates about Akatsuki versus Madara, low-key, one of the best arguments is to have Black Zetsu attach himself to, like, Obito or Pain or Itachi.
That's actually a really good point. I never thought of that. Yeah, I don't have much to say on Zetsu. I think he's kind of inconsistent. I definitely think his highest forms of scaling just makes him ridiculous, but he's kind of up and down for me. I definitely think he is underrated. Now, I wish they just did more with Zetsu, because when he's introduced in, like, at the end of the manga for when part 1 caps off, he's just the coolest, creepiest looking guy. Like, he's a piranha plant in an Akatsuki cloak. And then I was kind of like, oh, I forgot Zetsu was introduced here. I really don't remember him getting introduced this early. And then he just becomes like a spy, and he doesn't really get to do much. But when he does do stuff, he goes hard, man. He goes really, really hard. If you look at anyone's Akatsuki ranking, he's either at the top or over Hidan, you know? He's like, it's very inconsistent. Yeah.
Another thing, like, this kind of doesn't count for Black Zetsu, but for White Zetsu, if we want to talk about that a little bit, he has, like, those spores, which are capable of, like, holding off all the 5 Kage for a while.
Yep.
And, like, actually immobilizing them for a bit. So why didn't they just use that in the war? Like, you know, drop Zetsu spores on groups of shinobi and just, you know, suck out their chakra, kill them.
Yeah, he's got enough chakra to give back Sasuke his whole stamina back, you know? The next one is Deidara. Now, Deidara is just sort of... I hate it when he's always placed at the bottom of the Akatsuki. I just don't agree with that. Kisame thinks he's pretty powerful. I've brought this up in a few of my videos, like... the Akatsuki are having their little meeting, right? And they're like, oh, Sasori died. And Kisame's like, okay. And they're like, Deidara died. Kisame's like, what? Isn't he like our stronger member? That's a shame. And also, like, Sasuke at the start of the series is an absolute beast. Sasuke is absolutely cracked out of his mind.
He's like probably low-key the strongest, or like second or third strongest person in the start of Shippuden at the very least, because he's super fast. He has a lot of versatility with his lightning style. He has the curse mark, fire style, Sharingan, Genjutsu. Like, he has such a threatening arsenal for people in like early points of the series, and he's like the perfect counter to Deidara. Like, not only does he have lightning style, he has the IQ to actually figure out that lightning style counters Deidara. He has the Sharingan to see the C4 bombs and to see Deidara's bombs underground too. Like, there's just, he also has the curse mark to fly. Like, just such a perfect counter. I don't...
It's kind of bullshit. It's kind of bullshit that he lost.
Like, honestly, Deidara was just so unfairly matched up against this Sasuke. Like, it's like Kisame up against Might Guy, but even worse. Like,
you know what's even crazier is that Kakashi didn't even feel it was necessary to whip out the Mangekyo against Kakazu, but against Deidara with no arms, he pulls it out and is like, this is worth me, you know, going to the hospital just to take out one of his arms, you know? It's just crazy.
Plus, Deidara gets a lot of bad rep for kind of, like, quote-unquote doing poorly against Gaara. But he had to take Gaara alive. Like, he literally states, the hard part was taking you alive.
Yeah.
So he can't use C4, he can't use the C2 Dragon probably because it wouldn't be mobile enough, I assume, to fight Gaara.
He might be just really strong.
Later in the war and 5 Kage Summit, Gaara is also really cracked, like blitzing A from across entire rooms, but that could be because like he doesn't have Shikaku anymore, so he's actually able to sleep better.
Might be like a Kakashi situation.
But also, Deidara just, like, in the war, what the hell was Kabuto thinking? Like, Itachi and Nagato are my best summons. No, drop Deidara on a battlefield and nuke him. Just UC 0, and you got like 5 platoons that need to be wiped out. UC 0 5 times, 99% of Shinobi are dead.
We do a video upcoming with Loco and Asan. It's like Deidara is like 19, right? He's pretty young. And Sasori is really, really old. And Sasori is like, you're going to die young. You're the type of character to die young, which is just so mean. And,
true, but you know, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And he gets a bad rap because when he was like 14, 13, whatever, he lost to Itachi. Itachi is scaring Obito, okay? Like, it's not like that's an anti-feat. Getting bodied by Itachi in early Shippuden is not an anti-feat.
Yeah, Itachi and Pain are like the bosses of mid Shippuden. Like getting bodied by them is like saying, oh, Jiraiya and Orochimaru and Deidara, they're all trash. Plus, you know, he has some of the most insane hacks ever. C4, like Loki, Hashirama, Kisame, Kabuto.
Regeneration. It's straight up Neg's regeneration.
Yeah. Like, they're all just breathing in and dying. Okay, Kabuto maybe not, because he has Sage Mode. He could probably sense the bombs, but like, everybody who doesn't have sensory capabilities is dying to C4.
And like we said before, it's kind of bullshit he lost, you know?
Even with all that, like, hard countering going on, he still had Sasuke on his knees, like, deactivating his Sharingan because he didn't have enough chakra to, like, even keep it up.
And, you know, Deidara might be stronger than Sasori.
Yeah, that's controversial. That deserves like 10 videos of itself. Honestly, like, I really want Deidara to win. I'm biased toward him. Like, I would just admit that.
I'm glad.
But I do sort of think Sasori maybe wins. You know, like, it depends.
Depends on how you think the third Kazekage fight went. You know.
But yeah, I think that's about it for Deidara then.
Yeah, we can move on to Mei. Yeah,
just you saying that probably gets like some question marks from people.
Nah.
Yeah, we have Mei. So Zabuza level fodder. But in all seriousness, she like puts in the work against people. Like, Sasuke was low-key about to die to her if it wasn't for Zetsu. And, you know, granted, he was, like, weakened and, you know, his body was hurting, but it's still MS Sasuke, the same guy who was boxing up the Raikage.
Yeah.
And later on, against Madara, like, she just puts in so much work. She counters his fire-style jutsu, he sets up combos for Tsunade and A. She takes, like, punches from Susanoo straight to the face and doesn't die from them.
You know what's crazy? The Raikage does his Liger Bomb, and his goons in the background are like, nobody has ever survived that. No one survives that. And it's revealed that Sasuke has evolved his Susanoo more, and then Mei just fucking melts it.
Yeah. Also, like, I've seen... Is it Noxtaku? I think Noxtaku did, like, a video of, like, an OP jutsu that never do crap or something like that.
That's up there.
And, like, yeah, and Mei just has that vapor manipulation, and she just, like, cools it off, like, outside of her body. Like, she can regulate the temperature or density or whatever, like, the melting capabilities of her acid when it is outside of her body. So technically, she could probably... Like, in theory, this is, like, obviously never gonna happen, but in theory, she might be able to, like, take the gases in someone's lungs and make them, like, acidic and melt them from the inside.
And hey, if she was introduced even, like, even one arc earlier, maybe even 2 arcs earlier, you know, she might be giving Kakazu and Hidan a hard time. I'm saying, like, really? Like, Mei is really slept on it. And you know when people do those, like, 5 Kage Summit videos and all that stuff, and they say Mei is trash, I actually don't agree with that at all anymore. I do think that Mei, did very well against Sasuke, and Sasuke was a little bit in over his head on the 5 Kage Summit. He should have died, and even Obito's like, you fucking underperformed in the Kage Summit. Like, you didn't even steal a hostage. Like, come on, man. Like, and Inoki was going to kill him. Mei melting the Susanoo with her vapor style is something that no one else really does. No one just melts a Susanoo. Like, they crack it and blah blah blah, and a couple people attempt to shatter it, but no one just melts it away.
Yeah, like the most similar thing is like what Kaguya does at one point, where she kind of like absorbs the Susanoo's chakra. But, you know, when you're replicating feats that Kaguya has, you know, I think you've got something going for you.
That's the first time I've ever heard anyone fucking compare Kaguya to Mei.
Okay, yep, I can see that. I can see why it's not a common comparison.
But yeah, like she just doesn't get slept on a lot. She doesn't really have a character. She's just sort of like a hot chick that has cool abilities. Doesn't really get to do anything with them. Doesn't like I said, it's such a shame she was introduced so late in the series. Like it's such a shame. I would have loved to have seen more of Mei.
Honestly, like I would have loved to see just more of early Shippuden in general. Like more of the Akatsuki going to like other villages and maybe Naruto or some other teams. Like maybe Team Guy going to like, for example, the Waterfall Village to protect Fu from the Seven Tails Jinchuriki from Kakuzu and Hidan. Maybe you could have a Jinchuriki in the Mist Village and you have Mei going up against like Kakuzu or Deidara or Kisame or something, you know? Like there could have been a lot of potential.
Yeah, Naruto has a lot of good characters that just die, don't get anything to do, you know? Kishimoto does have a lot of characters, you know, that do just have maybe 5 minutes to shine and that's it. Like Anko's one of those people. And someone else that we can, you know, is number 2 on the list, and that's Kimimaru. Kimimaru, while he's sick, not pretty still like in that like part 1, maybe his Jonin level. Maybe if you think, you know, Lee while he's drunk, is a rival for Gateless Guy, like, you know, in that scene where Guy's like, I couldn't even hold Lee. I'm so happy Neji was there to help me. You know, if Neji wasn't there, I would have struck. So maybe Kimimaru is actually low-key base Guy level, and Gaara is above base Guy level. That's a good argument.
Yeah, like Guy was literally scared. Like Tsunade like notices that Lee took the wrong like medicine, and Guy's like, oh no.
I mean,
and then Kimimaru is boxing this Lee up. And also, you know, that whole thing with the Kazekage assassination, like, you know, everybody knows that, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty... that's crazy. You know what that means? You know, me and Loco and Prodigy have talked about this. A healthy Kimimaru might honestly be a better fighter than the Edo Tensei fucking first and second Hokage.
Probably yes. Like, you know, honestly, low-key, because later in the war, he also, as an Edo, like, he's nerfed and stuff, but he doesn't have his sickness, so I guess he's also buffed.
Yeah.
So, like, sort of like an Edo Itachi type of deal. He's able to actually, like, stand alongside Chiyo against KCM Naruto, and we see them fighting KCM Naruto, and then later on, they just get desummoned by Kabuto when the Edo Tensei is undone. Yeah, so, like, KCM Naruto couldn't even, like... seal them away or beat them up enough for them to be sealed away. So Kimimaru is actually cracked.
Which is just crazy because even in Edo, he doesn't even use his curse mark. That's just him. You know, he didn't even use CM at all. And Kabuto and Orochimaru were like, did Kimimaru just leave? Why did he leave? Like, why did he do that? And then the metaphor of his like candle being his lifespan. He starts the fight and it's like even half-mast, so you could argue like through this weird candle argument that he even starts his fight with an amped Naruto. You know, he fights an amped Naruto, and then throughout the fight with Naruto, Lee, and Gaara, he is only getting weaker. So yeah, pretty crazy. I know that's a weird argument, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird argument, but it could be the case because he literally dies at the end from his sickness. So he's like, it's consistent to say that he was like Kimimaru is literally like Itachi, just a little bit worse. Yeah, because also Orochimaru wanted his body over Sasuke's at first until Kimimaru got sick.
More potential than Sasuke. Sarkon actually says this dude's potential, referring to Sasuke, is nothing compared to Kimimaru's.
And then, like, also Kimimaru is really young. He's like, I think younger than like start of Shippuden, Naruto, and Sasuke. He's like 15.
Yeah, he's 15.
In part 1. Yep. So imagine if he just grew stronger. Like, he could have been like a Kage for sure.
And he honestly doesn't have any hacks. He just has his hands. He has his hands.
Yeah.
He might low-key be the best taijutsu fighter other than like Might Guy. Honestly, like with his bones and with a healthy version, he doesn't have crazy eyeball powers. He doesn't have genjutsu prowess. He doesn't have insta-kill moves. He just has his hands. And Orochimaru was like, I wish Kimimaru was the vessel. I wish he wasn't sick, you know?
Yeah.
He preferred Kimimaru over the Sharingan, my dude.
Yeah. Also, Kimimaro just has a lot of weird bone due to like the bone guns. Like he can just shoot bones out of his fingers like bullets.
Yeah.
And then he has that whole bone drill, which is all like almost capable of piercing Gaara's best shields and stuff. So
Yeah.
he's got a lot of that going for him. Also, another little note when you said that Gaara is like Jonin level. Yeah, he's like considered the ultimate weapon of the Sand Village. So
true,
he's
I
gotta be at
forgot
least
about
Jonin level.
Oh no.
Like, you know.
The Sand Village just sucks. But overall, I just love Kimimaro. I wish, if we're talking about favorite underrated characters, he's at the top of my list. Him and Haku are my favorites. I have who could join the Akatsuki video. That they are both on there. They're cracked.
Probably moving on to number one. You know, my pick for number one is Kushina, because she is honestly insane. Like she gets very little screen time. But from what little she does get, she's like low-key boxing up like KCM2 Naruto, almost.
She's just fighting the Nine Tails.
Yeah, like she's like giving birth, on the verge of death, then gets the Nine Tails extracted from her and like spends a few minutes, at least a few minutes, just like dying on her deathbed. Like literally on her deathbed. Yeah. And then Minato just teleports her out into like the field where the Nine Tails is. And just out of nowhere, she, on the verge of death, just speed blitzes the entire Nine Tails, like the full thing, not the half that Naruto has, the full Nine Tails with her chains, and like pins it down, and it can do nothing for a while. And then it only breaks out because her life force wavers. Like Kushina actually like almost dies at one point. Like her life force wavers, and then the Nine Tails is like, yeah, now's my chance, rips off some of the chains and goes for the kill against Naruto. And Kushina is able to like intercept that with her body, like movements.
And it's just crazy because in the war arc, Naruto finally starts to surpass Minato, and then the statement is so explicit. It says, finally Naruto is beginning to surpass Minato and Kushina, implying that Kushina is out of this world cracked like Minato.
When Kushina and Minato like intercept the Nine Tails attack on Naruto, like when they get pierced, you know, made into donuts, she has to move like a similar or even greater distance than Minato, and she gets there first because she gets there first, and then Minato like jumps in behind her to like take the blow for her. Like, it's actually crazy.
And maybe you could argue, like, Kushina... oh my god. Maybe you could argue she's mental amped, you know? Will of Fire, whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. Another crazy thing is that Minato's body flicker is faster than all the other Hokage. Like, he gets to the battlefield where the Jubi is fighting before any of the other Kage with his body flicker, which is basically travel speed. And he would definitely be using that when he wants to save his son. And we know he wasn't actually fast enough to like jump to Naruto and then grab him and jump out of the way. He had to like intercept the Nine Tails directly.
Yeah.
And Kushina like jumps in front of him like faster than Minato, or like at least on the same speed. So Kushina's travel speed is like low-key above Hashirama and Tobirama's maybe.
And hey, look. Comments like chill, like, because you know those memes, it's like Minato and Kakashi are traveling at a similar speed fighting Zetsu. Like, I get it, like, yeah, it's weird, but with a mental amp, you know, maybe she could do it. You know, Kushina has all the reason to be mental amped in this situation. It's her newborn son, and her and Minato have found their resolve to both end their lives to save their son. You know, it makes sense.
Yeah, like. Yeah, just to make it clear, like, I'm not trying to claim that Kushina is, like, some solo queen or something. Like, you know, in lore, she's not, like, soloing the Akatsuki or anything. But, you know, just these crazy feats are just really fun to look at and think, like, yeah, she might just actually be correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job here. Now, maybe you guys in the comments, let us know who we miss. I know people are going to bring up Tobirama, but Tobirama is actually going to come up on another top 10 list that you guys look forward to that. And Sartori, thank you so much for coming on the channel. You're welcome here anytime. I'm looking forward to doing more collabs with you in the future. And definitely check him out. He deserves it. He puts a lot of work into his videos, and he's got really unique videos out. I haven't seen actually a channel like his at all. So yeah, there you go.
Glad to be here, and we'll gladly come on here anytime.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks guys for watching. Peace out.